If you're a woman with high masculine energy, stop competing against other women. And I know that you might be thinking that it's already hard enough for us ambitious women to thrive in this highly masculine world, that when another woman is successful, it feels like it could hinder our own success. But by keeping us from working with each other and empowering each other, we are doing exactly what they want us to do. And they're happy because that's keeping us poor, mindless, depressed, anxious, isolated, overweight, addicted, and distracted. Now you might be thinking, who is they? Who is our enemy? Who are you talking about? And I'm not talking about men. I'm talking about our opposition, the government. And the government is basically big pharmaceuticals, food organizations, military industrial complexes, and the politicians that are all the puppets of all those big corporations. Those are our true enemy. Those are the people that want to keep us dumb, broke, weak, and dependent. They want you to be that way because when you're that way, you are not empowered to get after what you want. You are working against other people. You are feeling more dependent on them than ever, and you become easily manipulated. What they want and what you want is very different, because I know that if you're an ambitious woman, what you want is financial freedom, purpose in life, and self-actualization. You want financial freedom because you want money, and money gives you access to quality food, to shelter, to experiences, to resources. And you want to have purpose in life because a life with purpose gives you meaning. And if you have no meaning in your life is then meaningless. And what's worth living if you don't have meaning in what you do? And then finally, I know that you want self-actualization, which is basically reaching your highest potential. It's you becoming a master of yourself. If you're someone like me that is ambitious and is often in their masculine energy, you work tirelessly on self-development, because we didn't grow up as human animals with a manual to how to become our best selves. We need to do trial and error ourselves and figure that out every single day. And that's what makes life so fun and such an adventure, is that we can figure this out, to go from animal to human being, to be connected to the source, to be connected to a higher power, to feel connected to each other. So this is what we want, right? This is what we want. And that is when we are in our masculine energy. I'm not going to talk about women in our feminine energy. There are different things that we want, like nurturing our partners, feeling connected to other people, being creative. That's a different aspect of ourselves. But when we're in our masculine energy, this is what we desire. And this is wonderful. I love that for us. But this is what we want. This is not what they want. They want us to stay scared. They want us to be dependent on them. They want us to feel not empowered and weak and poor and fat and anxious and tired. That's what they want. Because if they wanted opposite, the world would not be the way it is right now. The government can only thrive if we stay broken, if we stay hopeless, if we stay addicted. Because that way we turn against each other, and also we keep men weak. And that's another tangent I'm gonna go on. Men nowadays are weak. And it's their fault and it's not their fault, because the government is at the huge root cause of what is happening with this weak men pandemic right now. But I believe that us women, we have the power to heal weak, good men. Because a lot of men that are weak are good men, and they need our help. They need the feminine energy to come in. And that's when we women, once we heal ourselves, we can become powerful healers for men and our whole planet. We can actually do that. But if us, people, the society, we don't heal collectively, we are always going to remain broken and we will never be free. So if you keep staying a consumer to them and you do what they want you to do, you eat what they tell you to eat, you spend your money on what they tell you to spend money on, you're always going to be a pawn to their little game. You're never going to achieve that fulfillment that you're looking for. You're never actually going to have that financial freedom, that purpose in life, that self-actualization. So before you think I'm going on a huge tangent and you think I'm crazy and I'm just here to shit on the government, I'm just going to give you some truths. And the reason why I want to do this is because the moment where I would hear those things, and I would hear it over and over again by people that did the research and started being vocal about it, and I started being open-minded and listening to those, I realized that there was a lot of things that was keeping me unhappy and unfulfilled just because I was not giving them a listen. The moment that it clicked for me, and I hope it does that for you, you can begin to take control over your life and get actually what you want. But a lot of people choose to not listen to that. And they'd rather stay stuck and comfortable with their misery than to actually realize the reality and that those people that we put all our trust in is actually bad people. So I'm going to give you 4 ways that those people in power are manipulating you for you to do exactly what they want and make you lose track of what you want. So those are the reasons why you feel like as a woman that you need to compete against other women, that you have this lone wolf mentality, or that you are miserable in your pursuit of your goals. It's because of these people. And I'm going to give you 4 ways that they do it. So one of the best ways that you can gain control over humanity and that you can manipulate a society is through fear. And companies and people that look to take advantage of others know the power of fear. Because when one person is gripped by the threat of fear, whether it's real or imagined, it doesn't matter. If they feel fear, their brain, their higher rational cognitive capacities start shutting down. And they rely on anyone else that promises some sort of safety. Perfect example, look at the news. The news that is controlled by political parties. And they make sure that whatever they show up there is not the beautiful firefighter that saves the cat from the tree. It's going to be chaos, destruction, death, uncertainties, pandemics, vaccines, all about fear. It's all there to make you feel scared and feel like you have to rely on the people in power to give you that sense of safety. They want you to feel like they are the solution. This is a problem because once you're in a fearful state, that's when you start losing sight of what truly matters to you, fulfilling your deepest desires. You start giving your power away because you become reliant on them. And that way, you're unable to focus on pursuing what you want, such as money, self-mastery, purpose in life. And this problem gets extrapolated once social media comes into play, because that starts infecting tons of people that become low vibrancy people. And those people spend their time gossiping, spreading rumors, talking shit, complaining, engaging in drama. And that just creates a low vibrancy environment that you cannot thrive in. It is so hard. You're going to feel like you're swimming against the current when you're surrounded by those type of people. So it's hard for you to stay focused on what you want when that is the environment that you're in. The next way that you can manipulate people is by keeping people distracted. Finding ways for people to be distracted. So this way, for example, the government doesn't want us to be focused and tunnel vision on our goals. They want us to be distracted through TV shows, social media, sports, politics. All of those platforms are made for us to lose attention on what we want. And we're all a victim to that. We all have become distracted to some extent, and that does not align with the vision of ours. I need to start taking a deep breath because I feel like I'm getting mad. Okay. Now, another way that the government wants us to be manipulated easily is by making sure that we become addicted. They have tons of things in place that makes them have money in their pocket while making us sicker and broker and addicted. And usually when people think about addiction, oftentimes they think about drugs or alcohol, but it's way more than that. There's dopamine addiction everywhere. Video games, gossiping, social media, shopping, porn, food. There's so many ways that people are addicted. And that's good for them because the more you're addicted, the more you go crazy. Like people that are drug addicts, you know what their profile looks like and how it hurts their life. We are no different once we're addicted to video games, once we're addicted to food, once we're addicted to porn, because all of that makes us distracted to what we truly desire authentically. And finally, this last one is the one that makes me the most angry, and I'm really gonna try to be chill about it. But they want you to stay fat, broke, dumb, and sick. They want that for you. They don't want the best for you. They want you to stay broke because they want you to be dependent on their system. They want you to be an employee, to work, to pay your taxes, to feed back into the system, and then retire feeling sick and then uncared for. They keep you broke by making sure that you buy things to impress people that you don't even like. They make sure that you spend your time buying things that you do not need. Look around your house right now. How much stuff do you have that you don't actually need? That you were just influenced because you watched a TikTok about someone posting something, or that your friends had and you had FOMO and you had to get it yourself. They keep you dumb by not teaching you about money. This is not normal that we grew up going through all the schooling system and did not learn one thing about how to manage your money, how to be financially smart, when it's one of the most important things in our lives. Because a life with money gives you a lot of choices, opportunity, resources, and freedom. And that's what they don't want you to have. They want you to be an employee, to get money and pay taxes and make sure that all the money you make goes back into the system. If you only take some time to educate yourself, you realize that the only way to be financially free is not by being an employee, is not by being self-employed, it's by being a business owner or being an investor. Those are the two ways that you can actually be financially free. This is how you make real money. If not, you will always trade your time for money. And freedom is having time. Freedom is not necessarily having money, because what people don't understand is that you don't make money to have money. You make money so you can buy more time for yourself, because time is the most precious thing. It's how you spend your time. And the more money you have, the more you can delegate what you have to do that you don't care about to other people. So let's say you have more money, you can pay someone to cook for you. You can pay someone for cleaning for you. You can pay someone to do your taxes. You can pay someone to train you. You liberate all your schedule to do the things that matter to you, because you're able to pay people to do the miscellaneous things that don't align with your purpose. That is true freedom, is having money and delegating what you don't care about so you can focus on things that matter to you. But when you don't have money, you have to do all those little things that don't align to your life's purpose. And you feel trapped. And that's exactly what the government wants you to do. Because the moment that you have money and independency and resources, you cannot be manipulated easily, because you have choices. You have a way out. They also want you to stay sick and fat. That pleases them. And that's easy. They are happy when you are stressed out from overconsumption of screens. They are satisfied if you lose sleep from being on your phone so late, scrolling, and then you wake up the next morning, you're underslept, you do that chronically, you end up having a weaker immune system, you get sicker, and then when you're sick, what do you do? Well, you can't work out because you're so sick and tired. It's hard for you to stay in shape. It's hard for you to stay in shape and have and make good choices, because once you're sick and once you're tired, it's hard for you to make the right choices, to eat the right food and to exercise and do healthy habits. It's hard. And then what do? You go to the pharmacy or you go to the doctor, and what do? They prescribe you pills, and you feed back into big pharma, and that makes money for the government. The more pills you get, the more money they get. That's awesome for them. But when you start having pills, what happens? You don't actually cure the problem. You don't actually get better. You're just putting a little band-aid. And bonus if you actually get addicted to those pills. Look at Netflix. If you love watching TV so much, how about you watch a documentary and go on Netflix and watch one of those pill documentaries that show how Oxycontin was one of the most savage thing that the government has done. That big white rich people have decided to be so selfish to put the lives of all these people at risk, or literally kill millions of people just for that person to get money. That's sick. And even worse, the government encourages food organizations that promote highly processed foods that make sure that we are the most obese population that's ever existed. Because what does that do? That makes us more sick, that makes us more obese, that makes us have more metabolic syndrome that makes us have more cancer, and then rely again on big pharma and the whole broken medical system. This should make you mad. This should make you really upset. If this is the first time you're hearing this, I'm sorry, because I know this can be a lot. It could be overwhelming, but this is our reality. You have to accept it, because that's when we can change it. And we can stop competing against each other, against our peers, where we're all little pawns here. We can start working together and then really focus on the real competition. And you might be thinking, yeah, let's go to war against them. That's not the competition I'm talking about. Because truly the real competition that you have to do is competing with yourself. It's you versus you, baby. Where most people get it wrong is that they hear this, they learn about this, they become educated about this, but then still stay stuck in their victim mindset and then hope that someone will come save them. But you are the only one that needs to go to battle, and the only battle that you will face is you versus you. It's you versus that victim mindset, that ego, that person inside of you that wants to stay comfortable and feel like someone needs to come save them. You have to fight against that version of you. The opposition becomes powerless the moment you start focusing on you, and you stop being overweight, you stop being depressed, you stop being addicted, you stop being an overconsumer, and you start doing the right choices. The thing that you gotta focus on right now is really quite simple. You just have to become a better decision maker, because think about it. Who you are today is the result of all the choices you've done in the past. Because it would be easy right now to just blame the government and feel sorry for ourselves and feel helpless and hopeless. But that's not going to get us anywhere to where we want to go authentically. That's not going to get us to actually fulfill those deepest desires that we have as ambitious women, as people that want to come together and make the world a better place, as women that want to help men get better. So let me repeat this. Your specific daily repetitive decision making is what's going to dictate your new outcome in life. The structure and the rule that you will create for yourself is what's going to make you get what you desire. Because if you mindlessly keep going with whatever you've been doing, you're going to be the result of this system that's created for us. And you don't want that. You have the freedom to make your own choices, and they cannot stop you from making the choices that you want to make. They can't do anything. They look all that powerful, but deep down, you have to realize that you are just as powerful as they are. Believe that. So you need to start making different choices. Maybe it's time for you to quit that job. Maybe it's time for you to actually go work out. Maybe it's time for you to go to the grocery store and buy the healthy foods. Maybe it's time for you to start ditching those friends that are holding you back. It's time for you to take the time to make something different, to do a different choice that you always make. By making different choices, you are applying your basic right of freedom. And you're the one that's going to make you go on that life's path. I'm not the one that's going to do it for you. I'm here to educate you and make you aware of what's happening, but you're going to be the one that has to make that decision. When you're going to click off this video, you're going to be the one that's going to be responsible to do those new life choices for yourself. This is not something that you do once and then you forget about it. This is a life's commitment. This is discipline. And discipline is basically the commitment to your long-term goals. You cannot rely on motivation. You cannot do it right now just because you feel motivated and then tomorrow you do bad choices again. You need to be disciplined, because motivation is dopamine. And if you think about dopamine, dopamine is at the root of all addictions. So if you rely on motivation to do things, you're basically competing against all the other addictions that you have. So let's say you have to rely on getting dopamine from reaching your goals and doing hard things and getting out of your comfort zone, versus getting dopamine from shopping, from drinking alcohol, from watching porn, from whatever you do that is an addiction. Which one will be easier? Definitely the one that you're addicted to, because it's hard to have the dopamine to get after your life's goals, because that is getting out of your comfort zone. So you cannot rely on motivation to get going. You just got to be disciplined. Make that part of your identity. View yourself as a disciplined person. You do things because you are a disciplined person. There's no excuses. If you want to be disciplined, be clear about which actions you're going to commit to. And you need to follow through what you say. Because if you say to yourself, okay, from now on, I'm going to wake up every single day at 6 a.m. because from 6 to 8, I'm going to work on my side hustle. I'm going to work on learning about business. I'm going to work on my YouTube channel. If you do that and you stay disciplined, you're going to see results. Because like I said, you are the results of every little actions you've done in the past. So if you start doing that, you're going to see a new result for yourself. Because if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. But let's say you do decide to snooze tomorrow morning. You say you're going to wake up at 6 and work on your side hustle, but then you ended up snoozing and you're giving yourself excuses like being a little bitch, saying you didn't sleep well, you had nightmares. How are you going to believe in yourself if you can't even follow through your word when you say you're going to wake up early? And imagine when hard things are going to happen to you, which are going to happen, how are you going to trust yourself and believe in yourself when you can't even keep your own word for waking up early in the morning? That's not that difficult. That's still very comfortable. All you have to do is wake up and get out of bed. If you need to put your phone further away so you have to physically wake up to go turn it off. Everything that you tell yourself that you want to do and you commit to, you just got to do it. And hey, you're not going to be perfect and you're going to have to adjust, but that's a proactive thing that you do. You're going to have to be realistic, but don't give up just because you don't feel like it. If you need to change something, it's because it's logical and it makes sense. Not because you're being a little pussy. One of the best mindsets that you can have for yourself is to think that you deserve everything that's happened in your life. If you make this contract that you deserve all the good and the bad that's happened to you, that means that you take full accountability of your previous actions and it's given you the results that you have today. But that's good because that means that whatever you do today will mean that you will have a guaranteed future. So let's say you work on your YouTube channel every single day. You know that you're going to be a successful YouTuber because you know that you will get what you deserve. And I promise you, life works like that in wicked ways. Even though the government purposefully makes us sick, fat, and poor, it's easy to just blame them. But if we blame them, we're just giving our responsibility away. And how can we feel empowered to take action and go after our goals if we don't even take responsibility for our life situation right now, of where we're at right now? Now it's your responsibility that you are aware of what's happening and you are capable of making better choices today. That is your duty right now. A good exercise to do is to think about all the things that you've done and where it's brought you right now. And then think that if you keep going this way, how will my life turn out to be? Project in the future, if you keep doing what you've been doing so far, where is your life going to go? And then a next step is to think, okay, well, if I do it differently, if I start doing this, this, and that, what will my life look like then? And that's where it gets exciting. If you're not ready to make changes now, when are you going to be ready? You're never going to feel ready. That's something I've learned with my YouTube channel. You never actually feel ready. You have to go through life with trial and error. That's how you actually attain self-mastery. If you really want to get at the fullest of your potential, you can't do it just by thinking and wishing. You have to take actions and fail and get better. I know my YouTube channel is not thriving right now. And I know that I'm not perfect the way I speak. And I know that I have a lot of improvement with my messages. But I'm going to get better the more I do it. There's no other way. I'm not just going to magically be good at YouTube just because I want to. I need to put myself out there. So if you want to be healthier and have a leaner body, when you go to the grocery store, are you going to still go towards the middle of the aisle, or are you going to go on the perimeter where it has all the healthy foods? Or if you're broke and you struggle with money, are you still going to scroll through TikTok and buy what every influencers promote just because they do it and it's trendy? Or what about your relationship? Are you still going to neglect your mental health and be in toxic relationships? At the end of the day, who is choosing to eat the junk food? You are. Who is choosing to spend the money on clothes, on stuff? You are. Who is choosing the partner that you're in with a relationship that is toxic? It's you are. It's not the government. The government has instilled this society, this expectation, but now that you're aware, it's your choice to decide to let them control you. You are not fully responsible for your life. Take full responsibility of your life. I hope you feel empowered to have the final say in the decisions that you make. Once you take full radical ownership of your life, you are empowered to go wherever you want to go. And you need to find like-minded people like me, like you, that are willing to push each other and support each other along the way and not succumb to what the government wants us to do. Because once we decide to take ownership of our life, they cannot do anything about it. Because it is our life and it is our right to pursue our deepest desires. They are winning if you stay an animal. Clueless, reckless, powerless, greedy, emotional, unstable. And as long as you keep doing what they want you to do, you're gonna keep being an animal and you're still going to feel like a victim. But in reality, all that you are is a terrible decision maker. That's it. You can make the final decision if you want to be fit, if you want to be educated, if you want to be resourceful, if you want to be strong emotionally, physically, if you want to be self-aware. You're the one that is empowered and entitled to do that for yourself. Now you're either going to feel inspired and want to change today, or maybe you're going to be mad and are going to hate on me just because I put a mirror in front of you. But if you are that ambitious woman, I invite you to just stay with me. We need to create a community of people like us and to support each other. Because women, we need each other. We need to heal ourselves. We need to learn to heal men and heal our planet. We got this. So start by leading your life so then you can lead others. And I believe in you. Believe in yourself as well. I love you so much. And I will see you very soon in a new video. Okay? Mwah. Sorry for being so mad today. I promise I can be gentler.